What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mastery Podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Now, in today's episode, I want to talk to you about a very specific subject that comes up all the time. Mark, I just feel stuck. I don't know how to get out of where I'm at right now. I know I want to achieve more, but I just don't know how to achieve more. And having been in the industry a long time, not only have I come across a lot of coaches who have experienced this challenge, but you might not think this to be true, but it is. I really struggled at many points along the way. I don't think there's ever anybody who's not got to a certain point in their life and said, I'm stuck. You might be stuck and really successful because you want to go to the next level. You might be stuck and have never achieved anything. So, firstly, there are huge amounts of variation when it comes to the word stuck. How I like to look at stuck, and I developed this kind of thought process over the years, is stuck is like a feedback. Low self-confidence is a feedback. Overwhelm is a feedback. Frustration is a feedback. Comparing yourself to other people, that's a pretty big feedback, because comparing yourself to somebody else says that you see something in somebody else, but you're not prepared to acknowledge that you see it in yourself. And very often, I look and say, why am I comparing myself? Why am I doing this? This whole thing about feedback gives you things to work on. So I want you to think about being stuck, first and foremost, as an opportunity. It's not something that comes your way to stop you. It's something that comes your way to give you a kind of check. And so when I hit a bit of a roadblock and I said, I don't know how to move forward. I'm uncertain of how to move forward. I would ask myself these questions. Where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? What do I need to know to get me to where I am? And I'd also ask myself, who has what I want? That's some important things to ask yourself. And then I would actually look at what is it that I have to do to get me to where I want to get to. And I'm going to go right back, when I could say when I first wanted to start building my physique, and I was stuck. I didn't know how to progress. I remember speaking to one of my coaches at the time. I'd never really looked into bodybuilding. I'd read about bodybuilding, but not to the point of me actually taking my physique to the next level. So very often when we feel we're stuck, we've got something big that we want to achieve, which is great. That's good feedback. I'm stuck. Do you think people who aren't trying to progress in their life in any way, shape or form get stuck? They've got nothing to get stuck from. If you get in a car and you go down a muddy track and you want to get to the end of the muddy track, if you get stuck, there's nothing stopping you getting to the other end of the track at all. Nothing. But you've got to overcome getting out of that rut. And then you'll sit down and you'll say, okay, so the car's stuck in the mud. If I keep spinning the wheels and doing the same thing, I'm not going to get out of this. So maybe if I go and look for some wood, maybe if I look for some stones, maybe if I have my phone, I could actually look at how do you get a car out of thick mud, and I can come up with a plan. And Also, you could think, is there anybody that lives near enough that may be able to support me, that would be able to pull me through? So you have options, right? If you are stuck in the mud, if that road goes from A to B, and people have been on that road many, many, many times before, lots and lots of other people have got out of the mud very easily. Some with more degree of difficulty than others because they've never got out of the mud before. They've never been in that situation before. Then there's others that have been in the similar sort of situation in different countries or different towns, so they've got an idea, but it wasn't as bad mud. And then there's people who travel on this road who just go, I know it's a bit different today, it's harder, but we do what we did last time, but we try something new, done. So there are people that run into roadblocks, stop, think, look, and then progress. Other people that run into a roadblock and they go, okay, what do I need to know? Who can help me? What action steps have I got to take to move forward? And then there's always going to be people that get stuck in the mud and they go, hiya. They ring their friends and go, we're stuck in the mud, we can't get out. And there'll also be people who get stuck in the mud, abandon the car and think, we're done. Or they just sit there waiting for somebody else to rescue them. That's really what stuck is. And so many of you, you'll contact me, the team, M10, and I love the fact that we are a part of your journey. And there are so many people that have been a part of my journey throughout the whole of my career. And as a coach, believe it or not, if your clients run into difficulty with their body shape and they go, am I going to find someone, and this is something that's really important, am I going to find somebody that finds someone who can help me, or am I going to try and learn this thing myself? So when you're stuck in the mud and you feel right now in your personal training career or your online coaching career, are you a coach? Are you a coach who's going to sit still and spin the wheels in the mud? Flying mud up everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, the mud that's flicking up left, right and centre, the mud that's flicking up left, right and centre, that's emotions. Now I don't know whether you looked at my, saw a post that I did recently. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see me with my hands. But if you listen to this, I'll articulate it. Okay. So I've got a shaker. So you guys, all of us in the fitness industry know what shakers are. So we have a shaker, all right, and that shaker itself, there's water in this one, okay, but the shaker in itself, quarter full in this case. That's all the emotions that are going around, okay. And then the more water that's in there, the more chance the water's got of spilling over the top. So essentially what I'm saying to you here is, if you run into the mud and you keep spinning, that water keeps filling up. And then eventually it just spills over the top. And you end up getting so frustrated that you're not moving forward. The emotions are building. That's why I talked about the water. The water level is your emotions building up, and you just get more stressed, more frustrated, more stressed, more frustrated. But there is some feedback that's coming to you, but you're not noticing it. You're not noticing it. Overwhelm, stress, anxiety, frustration, it's all feedback that you're either not in control and you're not managing your emotions. So the feedback to stop getting out of control, if you are spinning your wheels in the mud, is to say, who knows what I need to know? Or another way of looking at it is, who has achieved, aligned with my values, aligned with the things that I love? You know, a lot of you will say to me, you know, you follow me, you like my stuff because you can see a lot of my values in you. And then you start following that person and looking for the information that they've got, the journey that they've been on, the tools that they've got. And maybe you would say to yourself, right, to get out of the mud right now, I know categorically that one of the things I need to do is, right? And then you can start to write a list down of the things that you know you need to do. And then you have a realistic time frame that is going to take you to get out of the mud. Now, coaching, mentoring, whatever you want to call it, of course, People that have been or are where you want to be, they can help you move forward. But I don't have any problem with promoting anything that we sell or we do, M10. Hence why you guys should never have a problem with selling or promoting what you do. Because your clients are in the same sticking point that you are. You'll think clients and me, we're different. Clients and you are no different at all. The reason why I say that is because they have a problem, they're stuck in the mud, and their shaker full of water is getting bubblier and bubblier and bubblier, okay? Just like leaving a boiling pan on, it just bubbles over and they get more stressed. And then that ends up to lack of productivity, taking a step back and thinking, look, this is too stressful. I'm just going to take the foot off the gas. I'm just going to take it easy. So what you will often say is, to avoid me feeling anxious, stressed, demotivated, depressed, in some cases you might call it that, I'm just going to not put the gas on. I'm not going to put the gas on, because every time I put the gas on, the stove bubbles over. Every time I put my foot on the gas on the car, all that happens is mud flies up, and it just makes everything worse, and I can't get out of the hole. That's the type of coach and client that keeps doing the same shit over and over again. And I'm just going to ask you right now, is that you? Now, for a moment, I want you to understand something. Traits. Traits are things that people do. We have characteristic traits, personality traits, professional traits. Let's look at professional traits. Now, I will tell you that one of my traits is I'm disciplined. One of my traits is that I work long, hard work. I work long hours, and then I take good breaks, but I'm very dedicated to working long hours, and I enjoy my hours. I'm nothing about my life and my job that I don't enjoy. I'm focused on continually learning and developing, just to name a few. And we start looking at the traits that are necessary, that if you take this car analogy again, someone that's stuck in the mud, a trait of somebody that's prepared to get out of the mud, they are somebody that's education focused, so they'll look on their phone and learn how to get out of the mud. They're a communicator, they're happy to reach out to people and say, hey, can you help us get out of the mud? And they're prepared to get out and get their hands dirty, and they're prepared to get under the car and get some wood and stones in there and get themselves out of the mud. So there's three characteristic traits. They're prepared to learn, they're prepared to communicate, and they're prepared to get their hands dirty. So what you have to do to get yourself out of the mud is you don't look at your colleagues, right? You don't look at your colleagues when you get stuck in the mud and you feel like your career's not moving forward. You don't look at your colleagues and go, okay, well, they've achieved similar to me. I hear them moaning all the time because they're not moving forward, whether your colleagues are online coaches or PTs or gym owners. You don't look at those guys and girls for inspiration. You never look for them for inspiration because they're doing the same thing. They're spinning. They're moaning about the fitness industry. They're moaning about how much they get paid. They're moaning about their clients not moving forward. Fine. It's okay. I'd like to think that by doing episodes such as this, that I'm in a position to kind of take you out of that kind of thought process that I'm just going to do the same, and hope I'm going to move forward. I will also say that a trait of someone who just doesn't mind getting stuck in the mud is all about the fact that they love finding solutions out, but they're also prepared to invest to find out. Right? Invest to find out how. They learn, they're educated. So I want you to think for a second, am I displaying, to get myself out of the mud, the same traits of the person that's prepared to learn more, invest more, work harder, be disciplined, and take action on the things that I know I need to do? Are you that type of person? And you might be walking around, going for a walk today, or watching this on YouTube and thinking to yourself, yes, I know there's a lot of you that are disciplined. I know there's a lot of you that are progressing. And if you get stuck in the mud, there's another gear up. So then you start to say, and I explained this to coaches inside my Brand Impact Mastery group the other day, let's use finances as an example, right? Let's use personal trainers and online coaches that are earning 2.5, 3K a month, right? They all display the similar level of traits. They do the same sort of things, they learn the similar sort of things, they work the same level of effort intensity. And then there is a coach, online or PT, that's earning between 2.5 and 5K, right? They do certain things that coaches who are earning a lot less don't do. Then there are coaches that are going up a gear 5K to 10K a month. And they're doing different things again, right? Let's look at this from a physique perspective or a results perspective. Coaches that are achieving great weight loss results, okay? And then coaches who aspire to achieve physique results. The discipline, work and attention that they're putting in to get themselves and their physique clients, so all their weight loss clients, up to pushing towards a physique is a different level. They're working at a different level, okay? And for example, if it's you're just keeping yourself in shape, and then you want to go to the next level of getting yourself in shape, you have to display a different level of attributes or traits to be able to get there. For every stage you want to go to in your life, there needs to be a different level. You cannot get to level 2 with a level 1 mindset. You cannot get to level 3 with a level 2 mindset. You cannot get to level 4 without a level 3 mindset. And so it is a case, if you're stuck in the mud, that the things that you're doing today are not the things that are helping you to move forward. And this is really, really important for you to understand. You're not stuck in the mud. You're not stuck in the mud. You're receiving a feedback that you need a new set of skills to get to the next level. Now, there's something else to consider here. If you think or feel you're stuck in the mud, have you achieved a goal? I'm glad you've asked that. Yeah, I have. Over the last 6 to 12 months, I have achieved a goal. So feeling stuck in the mud is another feedback that maybe you need a bigger goal. You need something to work towards. So I said here, identify where you want to be. Well, I've achieved everything I said I was going to achieve. So now I need to give myself another goal. Wow, when I give myself another goal, that gives me another load of things to learn, and it gives me another things to start working on from Monday morning. Now I'm not stuck in the mud because I've got to learn a whole load of new stuff, but there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that now I've got this new goal, it gives me something to work towards. Throughout my career, in the early days, it was just improving my body shape. Then I wanted to add some more muscle. Then I wanted to build a physique. Then I wanted to bodybuild. And it just kept going up and up and up. And when I was helping people with weight loss, I then moved into fat loss and body composition. From fat loss and body composition, it moved into physique. From physique, it moved into bodybuilding. And then from all of those combined, all my years of experience, it kind of like transformed into business coaching, mentoring, and then having a phenomenal team with me supporting the growth and development of coaches all over the world. Why this has happened is that every time I felt stuck, I just said, something needs to change. And I think, and I sit, and I still do that to this day, sat at this desk. I say to myself, if I'm unfulfilled or frustrated or feeling stuck, there's something that I need more of. If it's stimulation from more education, go and search for it. If it's the development of a new business idea that I'm thinking about, but I haven't put it into plan yet, there will be a certain level of knowledge or skill that I may or may not possess right now, and there may be somebody that's going to help me get there, or a course that I need to enroll on. But life is all about taking action. It's about taking action towards something that's inspiring. So if you hear of anybody that's stuck in the mud, they aren't certain where they're going, they haven't identified what they need to know, they haven't identified who can help them to get to where they want to get to, and then they haven't put an action step to things that will help them move forward. Let's just go back to the car. I want to get from A to B. We've got stuck in the mud halfway through. From being stuck in the mud now, I need a new set of skills that's going to get me out of the mud, because if I can and I can learn that, or someone can help me, I can get from A to B to C. This might seem, guys, like a pretty simple concept, but you're either going to be somebody who gets stuck in the mud and spins your wheels and doesn't get any further forward, or you're going to be somebody who gets stuck in the mud and goes, not a problem, it's just a challenge, and remember, every challenge has a lesson to learn. Now, we have to then look at ourselves and say, if I'm up for the challenge, am I up for the challenge? A lot of people don't make progress in their lives because they're quite frightened of life changing. And I want to ask you that question. Are you worried that your life might change a little bit if you move forward? Because there could actually be some real beneficial things to you at the moment staying comfortable. So ask yourself this question. Am I stuck in the mud thinking I should be more successful, or am I actually happy where I'm at right now? Because very often frustration and feeling of needing to progress comes because you're watching other people go to somewhere and thinking that's what you should be doing, and that's not the case. You know, my life has developed in line with me always staying true to the things that I value the highest. I valued my bodybuilding, I valued coaching my clients, I valued learning. So inspired at all times to do that. And I value now my business development and growth, and that encapsulates the team and everything that we're trying to accomplish. Learning, and I'm deeply inspired by human performance and personal growth. And that combines to give me an inspired energy every day to help you guys achieve what you want to achieve. And so therefore, when sometimes you say that you're stuck, what I'm inspired by gives me a reference point to say, am I stuck because I think I need to be doing something, and it's just feedback to me saying, no, I'm not stuck on that particular thing because what I do want to be doing is this. So you can always use that feedback of being stuck as a little bit of a checkpoint to say, am I being true to me? And this is a thought process which very, very few fitness professionals take time to kind of absorb and understand. It's very easy learning the science, the theory, and everything that we teach. You know, very soon on April the 19th, I think it is, we start our next personal training 6-month mentorship. If you haven't looked at what that is, myself and Dan created the personal training mentorship alongside our incredible team of senior mentors, where we take you on a personal training mentorship journey for 6 months, and that's online. It's all over the world. You can join that program. I urge you to go to m10life.com to the Center of Excellence and have a look at what we do, because you know it may be right now that you're sitting here thinking, no, I've identified that I'm stuck in the mud. I know where I want to get to, but rightly so, Mark said that there are things that I need to know and I need an action step. And when you tick them off, this is a funny thing. Confidence is the result of consistent progress. You know, we talk about this on our personal training mentorship a lot. Confidence is the result of consistent progress. And if you are making consistent progress towards a goal, very rarely you'll get stuck in a rut. Very, very rarely we get stuck in a rut. It may be the odd challenge, but not a rut. Because you've got a very clear destination of where you're going. You're optimistic with the journey that you're on, but every micro challenge that you run into, you're learning as you go. So you've got this goal, but you're learning and you're challenging. You know, that's why the ruts feed back to you. That's why this perceived rut that you're in is feedback to you. Those of you who are doing great things at the moment and moving forward, you may say that you're in a rut, but it may be just an advantageous opportunity for you to look at where you're at and just create a more deep, meaningful strategy of how you're going to get to where you are. If you've been stood still for a long time, it's feedback to you that you need to realign where you want to get to, write down a strategy and notes of the action steps you need to take, the things you need to learn, and the people you need to learn them from, and go in search of them. These podcasts sometimes are, I diversify on different topics, but today very much about getting you back on track, and I hope it has been of high value to you. And as I said a few minutes ago, guys, please check out, if you're a personal trainer and you want to get to your next level, and you know that your learning, your application, your personal growth and development, your self-confidence, your theory and your science around coaching, and even the psychology of coaching, how we get clients to actually make progress consistently, enjoying the journey rather than struggling through the journey, and be able to help very many different types of clients overcome their own personal challenges to get them to achieve their goals. And go to m10life.com, go to the Center of Excellence, check out the personal training mentorship. Everything's on there. You'll see it all. Head over there. Price is on there. You'll be able to see it. It's all available. And I hope today's episode has been of great value to you. Guys, take care. Have a great afternoon or day, wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon.